A new and dangerous chapter is unfolding in the Middle East. US President Mr. Donald Trump is now openly talking about something far bigger than just military strikes. He's talking about taking Iran's oil here, and that has instantly raised the stakes of this entire conflict. At the center of this idea is the Karg Island, a small but very powerful location. And this particular island, it is not just land, it is Iran's main oil export hub. Nearly 90% of Iran's oil export passes through this single point. In simple terms, whoever controls Karg Island, it controls the economic lifeline. Now imagine this, a plan where the US forces don't just strike but actually move in. They capture and they control this island. In fact, Mr. Trump, he has suggested that he can do it very easily, but experts strongly disagree here because the reality on the ground, it's very, very different. Iran has spent years preparing for what exactly the scenario is like. Karg Island is heavily protected. Well, there are missile systems, naval defenses, fast attack boats, and layered security designed to stop any invasion. In the meantime, the IRGC, they have already warned that if foreign troops try to land over there, the island could turn into a full-scale battlefield. And that's where the bigger fear begins, because this would not be a short operation. Definitely not. It would mean ground troops entering hostile territory, facing resistance and possibly staying there for days or even weeks. Urban-style combat, coastal defense, and constant threat from missiles and drones, it could make it extremely, extremely difficult. At the very same time, the US, they are increasing its military presence in that particular region. Thousands of troops, marines, they are being deployed. Warships, aircraft, and support system, they are moving into position. This kind of build-up, it's not routine. It signals preparation for something much larger. And while all of this is happening, the global economy is already reacting here. Oil prices have surged sharply, rising by 50% in just a week. In fact, at one point, crude prices, they crossed $110 to $115 per barrel. Why? Because any disruption to Iran's oil export or Strait of Hormuz, it can impact the entire world. Strait of Hormuz is one of the most important choke points on the planet. About 20% of the global oil passes through this particular narrow route every single day. So if conflict spreads here, well, ships could be blocked, supply can be cut, and prices could rise further. This means the impact will not stay in the Middle East. It will reach everywhere. Fuel prices, transport costs, inflation, daily life across the countries. So now the situation is extremely tense. On one side, there is a bold and aggressive idea to take control of Iran's oil and weaken its power. On the other hand, there is a clear warning. Any such move will be met with fierce resistance and heavy losses. And this is what is making the whole moment so critical.